fun.
Hi, folks. Layman Pascal here on the Integral Stages Future Faces of Spirit series. Although when it comes to spirit, it's not always clear what's the future and what's the past. Today, on a recommendation from our friend Brandon Norgard at the Enlightened Worldview Project, we're sitting down with Carolina Marquez. She's got videos. She's got a book. I hope her English is better than my Spanish. I'm looking forward to a fun, beautiful, engaging discussion. I think we're going to get into areas like intuition and angels and ecosystems and the need to keep growing and engaging and learning after we have transcendental experiences. Hi, Carolina.
Hi. Thank you so much for your invitation, Line. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Where are you today?
Good. A little nervous. It's my first time. It's my first interview in English. But well, I will try my best with you guys. Thank you. Thank you for opening the opportunity for me today.
When it comes to spirituality, have you always been a spiritual person, always been drawn to it, or was there a moment in your life where it sort of started for you?
Yes, I think since I have 4 years old, my little sister passed away. And when that happens, I think I start understand many things because I saw her after she died. She come to me, told me some messages about it, what happened with her, because for our family was very difficult situation and very sad situation we have in that moment. And even because I was very like 5 years old when that happens too. So I remind that very clear. So after that, she come to me, told me what happened with her, what happened in the future with my family. After that moment, everything started to me. And realized we have more after this life.
When that happened, was it when you saw her, was it sort of visual or was it more like a sense of presence?
Visual. Was visual. Yes, I wake up in the middle of the night and well, I see the star in the sky open and she's come down from that light and she just hugged me and told me why she died. And she told me everything will be okay. No worries for me. I'm with our family on the sky. So was intense experience. Yeah.
When we're little, it's easy to believe things. And we get older, sometimes we get more skeptical, more rational. Do you think of it differently now than you did when you were 5?
Yes, of course, because the environment for us, the society practically is stuck with that. They don't believe much about it because you merge in this world and you just rush all the time. And we need to take some time for us to listen our bodies or what happened with everything in our life. You know, we need to just stop, make silence for that. So it's not easy because when you grown up and everything passed so fast.
When I was little, maybe I was 8 or 9, my grandmother died. And she had been very interested in spirituality all her life. And she said that she would send a message from the other side. And a day or two after she died, we had this little thing that she'd given us, a decoration on the wall. We were all at dinner. It just started to swing back and forth. It went on for quite a while. So it was very interesting to me. And, I always wondered, I don't know what this proves, but it proves something.
Yes, definitely yes.
How clear do you feel about like what the dead are and where they are and what that consists of versus how mysterious do you think it is?
You know what? I realized everything about us is the mystery. And the same way is the more spiritual, the same thing, the same way. So we are a mix from the earth, from the sky. So the truth is, you don't know where really we come from. When you ask yourself, you don't know exactly, but something magic around us happen every time.
Do you feel like it's the same for everyone? Do we come from the same place? Do we go to the same place, or are there many different places?
Good question. Everyone is come from the big energy of love of Lord, but in this life, in this present moment, we confront to different even planets. Okay, I know it's a little weird, this kind of topics, but in my experience, when I grew up, also I had communicate with other, like different people come from to the other planets too. So we really are a big universe, and we don't know the just one we have a life.
When you talk or when you think about planets, do you think of them as like the Earth, like solid other planets, or do you think of that as like a way to represent to yourself whatever other thing it actually is?
Both. We are in different, what do you say? I'm sorry. Estamos en diferentes tiempos. We are in different times. In the same moment. I know it's like, wow. It's like una espiral. But also, the universe have different lives, and the planets outside the Earth. So we are multidimensional, and also exist different razas out the Earth.
So how do you think about UFOs and aliens then?
Yeah, I saw
as both of those things, as some of them visitors from other planets, but some of them from different dimensions.
It's true. Well, yeah, I saw them before even come to this country. So since I was a little child, I have different conversation too. So happen things to me when I grown up that let me understand many things in our life. Why we are supposed to be different, but the truth, we are really connect each other. So we don't separate. This is just like a deep dream for us at the moment.
A lot of the things you're talking about sort of happen to you. What do you do, or if you do anything in terms of like deliberate practice, right? Do you sit down to do inner practice? And if so, what do you do?
Contemplation, meditation, be in silence, share with myself for a long time without anybody else. And that practice is very important because it's when maybe no, it's when Lord or the universe, that energy come to you and get communication with you. It's so important. Take time with yourself, be in silence, meditate, contemplate. Everybody can do that if they want to.
Has your inner practice been kind of the same for your whole life, or has it evolved and changed?
Well, will be changed, of course, because I have my own path and challenges too. So it was no easy. But I think when I get this change to me, come to this country for myself without family, without friends, was no easy. Just I think was the perfect time to connect with myself more than other time. Yes.
There's some forms of spirituality are more open to entities, to the dead, than other ones are, right? And in South and Central America and the Caribbean, there's a long tradition of bringing together Catholicism and indigenous traditions and spontaneous mysticism. Do you feel like you're an extension of that tradition, or do you think you're doing something different?
I think I do something different. But I understand with the time, nothing is a mistake. So everyone have their own path to follow, to learn. So I'm very respectful with that or with others. In my life, I need to help me a lot because my family no was easy. I had a dysfunctional family, so I passed much time with me since when I have a child. So maybe that is the reason. Let me learn more about who I am. I know some people that not have that chance to do, but in other words, so yes, I'm very respectful for other culture. I'm come from them, but I have my own path, so that is a different.
Among the lots of people I talk to, there's a sense in which we want to be at least rational, but then more than rational. And that sometimes it's tricky to figure out what's more than rational and what's less than rational. But we have these conversations about how we relate to subtle phenomenon, to visions, to entities, things like that. And some people have had a lot of these experiences, and some people haven't had any of these experiences, and they're very confused about what we're talking about.
That's true.
Do you have a sense of why some types of people are more prone to have these encounters and other people are not?
Well, maybe it's because with the angels I'm learning, we have sometimes like mission in this work. And some people come to just prove or taste it, that way to live. So like more darkness, or just don't believe in the universe or not. And some people come to share with the others the light and knowledge. So it depends. But how I told you before, nothing is a mistake. Everything is just part of the plan.
If a person didn't believe that, if a person believed that there were lots of mistakes, what would they lose? What would be bad for them to have that feeling that there are mistakes?
Look, my book is exactly about you need to learn about happens to you, because if you don't decide to learn about happens to you, just that is repeat again the same situation in different scenarios. And if you don't believe, for example, I told you, it's okay too, because the life show you That is it is. Yes. So I don't need the people believe in this. So everything will happen exactly we need to do happens.
But if people do have the feeling that things are happening for a purpose, then they have a better chance to see patterns, and then they have a better chance to evolve because they're seeing the patterns that they're caught in.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. When you be open to learn, when you be open to see, when you ask yourself what happened with me, what I need to do. So every answer has come to you. Little by little, step by step.
So you do a lot of work or discussion with angels.
Yeah.
And so what are you thinking of when you say the word angel? What does that mean? Is it sort of all the kinds of invisible entities, or is it a very specific kind of entity?
Wow. Good question. Look, we have angels, guardian angels. We have masters, guidance. Is huge. We can we can come with invisible resource for our life if we ask for it. But I know normally we don't learn that when you grow up. So it's difficult for that reason when you get adult age to believe. But the truth is we have, wow, it's huge. I don't know sometimes how I can express myself about it, but it's just they are like also like big brothers or big sisters to us, and they try to help us in our path because they can see exactly we don't.
Are there entities that we shouldn't have relationships with? Right? If angels are very helpful, are
Yeah,
there devils as well?
it's part of the balance. It depends exactly what you need to learn. For that reason, some people connect with them. I'm so respectful, but the most important you need to realize you can decide with what energy you want to connect. If you don't want to connect with that kind of energy, you say no. And they need to listen to you. They don't come to you because you don't open the door. You open the door. Maybe you don't not realize about it, but it's your decision. But it's part of the balance. That exists too. So
That sounds very much like something we do inside ourselves with our attention and our feeling. But many people, and especially many people in the past, used magic and ritual and actions to try to connect with these things. How do you feel about that kind of, it's very elaborate. This seems much simpler, but how do you feel about that stuff?
I learned that it's not the way. Because whatever you need is in you. Everything starts inside you to go out, not from out to go in. I know some people do that, but in the time they will learn it's not the way. It's part of the life. It's part they learn about it. You on everything. No judgments. So that happens too.
What do you say to a person who would like very much to have some dramatic feeling of communication with the dead or with angels? What would you advise them to do?
open your heart. Because when you open your heart and you decide to learn, when you realize you can choose different, even when it's difficult, you see the light come to you and you can see the change out you and your world. Simple is when you very connect with the drama, with the sadness, with the darkness, everything is like disaster. Your life, your relationship, everything. When you decide, start clean that, of course, it's not from today, tomorrow. That takes time because I live in my life like 20 years, just connect with the drama or the sadness or the difficult situation because I decide involvement in that take time to clean too. But you can do that. Definitely you can do that. So be open to the light. Ask for the light in your life. Just ask. Pray for it.
And what makes good prayer? How do you pray better?
How do you pray better? This comes from my heart every day. I don't have the ritual for that. Exactly words, that is not necessary too. But I need to be clear. So when I ask for something, whatever I want, just open my heart and say that everything I need to come from the light, from the Lord, for the right, but I went to light in my life. Just be open, be you, with that beautiful energy, because everyone is light. We have things, beautiful things inside us. So be yourself, but ask for light in your life.
When people are going through difficult experiences, it's very freeing to think, oh, I could decide to not focus on that. I could decide to turn myself to a more positive kind of experience. And sometimes that's the correct advice. But sometimes people go toward a positive experience to avoid going through the negative experience. And really, maybe they should have more of those feelings in order to appreciate what they are. So how do we decide when to go into the darkness in order to come back out into the light, and when to just switch and decide to not focus on the darkness and focus on light instead?
You asked me for when. You know, I passed for different situations in my life. I know how that feels. It's not easy, but not impossible. So I remember one night I had an accident in 2018. Even when you are good heart and you believe in love, that don't mean you don't have difficult situation. I lost in that moment my car, my new apartment. In that moment, I don't have friend in this country, family, just I, or just me. So I put my knees in the floor. I say, what do you want from me? So it's so hard, especially for women in this country. And that moment I don't speak practically any English. So I'm realize in that moment, say, okay, let me hear you. Back me to you because I need you. I need you. I need you. Just I need to listen from you what I need to do. And I'm gonna start with the connection again with the angels. So when you have difficult situation, even when you say and you angry with Lord with the life, just ask, please back to me. Back to me, please. And let me treat you again. And that moment is the most important moment that you have to connect with him.
Does it work better when it's more emotionally intense when you ask? Yeah.
Of course. Because the universe know in that moment you really open your heart and you just talking from you soul, from who you are really. And they immediately listen to you and you see, you know, you feel everything get better again, little by little, step by step. So yes.
What's on the wall behind you?
This is there was a gift. My friend, he's an artist, also he gave me this. It's a little, it's like a hand, um, got hands. Yes.
Oh, it's lovely.
Thank you.
We've been talking mostly about individuals, and what they can do to open. Well, how do you think about groups, about nations, about humanity? Is there something that we can do collectively that's similar to this?
Yes. You know, I always feel this earth is like ovni, like spaceships. And I know we can do many things possible if we are or go to the same way. So for human, like human, we can do try to clean our thinking, be more empathy with others. I think the good start is that be more empathy with others, because sometimes we are so indifferent with childs, with other people, with neighborhood. Sometimes I know some people here, it's it's just in them life, you can live in the same neighborhood like for 10, 20 years and you don't know your neighbor. So that's important. Get more communicate with others, more empathy with others. We can change many things just if we start with that, because you get more connection and you can understand even alone in difficult situations. So talking more, pray more.
How do you think about how we relate to nature? Like when we think about our own spiritual life, is that, does our spirituality do something for nature?
Everything is energy, even us. So the nature represent who we are. When I told you before, I contemplate a lot, it's because the nature can show me the tree, birds, everything, can show us how the life work. For example, the tree down there, they it's like they contain each other. So when one tree die, the other ones contain them. So that we can do exactly happen to us if we are more connect each other. The beer show you how high you can fly if you decide to that and believe more in you. Many things, the star, the sky, you can see the night, show you how huge we are. Yes, the nature can show you many things. The water, how you can flow, the fire, how you can transmutate everything in your life. So, yes.
When we think about everything happening for a reason, teaching us a lesson, being part of a story, it can give us a very secure feeling, which is wonderful. But at the same time, when we want to think about what problems to face and struggle with, then sometimes we think, well, something's disrupting the plan. And then we want to, our part of the plan is to fight that thing. So I'm
Yes.
curious what you think is the biggest spiritual threat in the world today. What's the biggest problem that our spirituality has to struggle with today?
Thinking you are separate for everything or for all. Lord, universe is in you. So that is the reason. Basically, when you see the problems around the world, it's because you are divine. Everything. Politicians, people, rich, poor, whatever. That is a big problem.
These the internet and the computers and these new technologies, do you think they are bringing us together and helping us be more connected, or do you think they are making us more separated?
Depends how do you want to use this. To me, we can be more connected. Okay. But if you decide watch, well, everything is what you decide to do. Well, yes, the internet to me, I think we can connect more because where you are now, you are
I'm in Ontario in Canada.
in Canada. Well, I'm in California, so I can connect with my family from in Venezuela. So yes, this can connect more even when we have different hours. So it's huge. It's powerful, the internet.
Are there specific problems you see in different places in the world? Right? Is the spiritual task of living in Venezuela the same as the spiritual task of living in California, or are they a little bit different?
That can be different in some ways, but look, for example, in my country, the division was within us. For that reason, we need to emigrate to other place. So we before a good country, rich country, and one day some coming and told us we are different. You deserve this, you can get these things, so it's the same. It's the same to me. In my opinion, it's the same happens around the world. So when you get into the social media, for example, sometimes you can feel to compare yourself with others. If you have more followers or not, if you have more money, I'm not. So the division is the same test for everyone. Because when we realize it's the opposite, we can see many changes. We can see a world, better world.
I'm curious how you think about people getting better intuition, because sometimes people feel they're cut off from their intuition, and sometimes people think they have a very strong intuition, but maybe it's just them telling themselves they get to do whatever they want. Right. So how do we make our intuition stronger and healthier?
When I get apart to the rush life, get more time for me. So we need to calm down ourselves and start feel how feels everything. If you ask for intuition, you need to be clear. So that's not possible if you have a lot noisy around you. So get apart, be calm, be with you. I think that's the best way, and practice that a lot. So that is good for me. So I have some clients too, and they realize that is the best way for them too. So yeah.
What sorts of things do your clients want from you? What do they come to you for?
When they feel stuck in their life, when they feel sad or have difficult situation, family situation, or with relationship, when they feel like not understand what happened in their life at the moment. So I think basically that's just a more relevant point they come from me. So yes, the angels offer normally guidance about that. This happens to you, and you need to work in this topic in your life to see the way how you can keep going.
There are some famous situations. I think Dawn of God is an example of a famous situation where it seemed like someone was working with energies and spirits, and some of those people felt very helped, and some of those
Yeah.
people were injured and taken advantage of. What do you make of situations like that where people are very open? Is there a danger that you let both light and dark forces come through you if you're too open? Or how do you think about that?
It's our composition, okay? Remember, we are both. So when they come to me, I can see they are worried about many things, even he bring with them since they are child. So we start hailing that because they need to realize sometimes that happens to them within the present is because they think the same way or they feel the same way who happened when they are child. So we need to start practically to see the past since until now, and they take time. So to get forgiveness, some different situations, even forgive yourself for let others hurt you sometimes. One experience I have is a woman was abused. It's not easy when you confront that situation, that experience, and you say, "How I can healing myself." So because what that happens to me, you of course that have time to healing, but between that time we have a different session for that. and she can understand even when hard for her pass for that experience. She can help other women to be open or talking about that situation. So practically was her mission for her life was a plan to do in the future with others. So it's very sometimes it's noisy, of course, but if you open to see why that happens to you, and my experience too, I was abused. So that showed me after. First, I was so scared about it, of course. But in my book, I share about the experience too. And you know what? You're not alone. The people is not alone. So many people pass for that. We need to share, because if you share, you talk about it, you can healing others, healing yourself. Also, do something. Do something to stop. So for it's important, share. It's important get good communicate. It's important to be open, even when it's hard. You see how many things can change around you in your life also. So it's not just to me, it's for everyone.
It seems like there's a quality of trust that's necessary to open, to encounter different kinds of forces and beings. But at the same time, beings could trick us or deceive us. Right? If someone tells me, and if I see something and it says that it's a soul of a dead person or it's from Venus, how do I know? It might be trying to trick me. How do we verify that, but also how do we be suspicious but also trusting?
Again, please.
How
Ask
do
me
we,
again.
yeah, how do we trust so that we can open, but also not necessarily believe the things we encounter? Because, why couldn't one spirit pretend to be another kind of spirit? If it looks like an angel to me, how do I know it's not just a trickster?
Ah, good question. This kind of the spiritual entity from the darkness, for example, they can connect with you if you say no. That is like the rule. I learned that. And when you ask for something, whatever you need, but you in that moment be clear, I want everything come from just from the light or light the Lord. Nothing from the darkness can connect with you. That is we call the libre albedrío. But no everyone know about it. For that reason, sometimes the darkness connect with you. So because you ask for it, you don't be specific. where exactly I went that come from to me. When I come here to California, first before live here, I'm being Orlando. I get this esta proposición from my friend to share the house here in California. I'm just like moved to Orlando like 7 months, so I need to thinking about it if I went to come to California, no? Say, ask to Lord, ask to the angels, for myself, not reading. It's just us, no? Try to connect and ask if I need to move to this play. That is correct to me. This is will be good to me or not. And before I decide come here, I have in person, like I feel was an encounter with the darkness. Was a man for real. And this man start inviting me to go out. So, like probably was very interesting because I don't know exactly that man come from, but just appear in my life and say, okay, wait, this is unreal for me. Wasn't real. So I see, oh, was good prospect, everything. So what happened here? Maybe I need to be here in Orlando, no move to California and say, okay. But something inside to me say, be careful. Just be careful. Don't believe in everything you see. Okay. I remember one night I'm just get my bed. Before I'm asleep, I ask for guidance. I say, did this is correct to me? Did this is the best for me, for my own path? If I don't get in dangerous situation, please, Lord, I'm not sure about this. Decide for me. Next day, that man disappeared. No cell phone, no social media, nothing. I just that feel that the next day I say, wow, it was a real encounter because he don't when maybe I move in this to this place to California for some reason. So I think the best decision I take was move here. Now, after 6 months. I'm so grateful for that. That is very interesting because also this let me talk to you now. So everything happened for some reason.
Okay, good. You seem to focus on the heart a lot. And I'm curious how you feel about other regions of the body, chakras, or whatever we want to talk about, because sometimes when people discuss opening and surrendering and letting something come through, they feel like we have to open all of these regions.
Yeah.
What do you think about these different regions, and how do we work with each of them?
Yeah, the chakras are part of our energy. So they are centers, energy centers, and they keep healthy and our physical body and energy. But the heart is the center, the everything. Also, is in the center of our body. When you talk to your heart, you let them open the light in you. Be kind with your heart. The heart connects with you in everything. With others, with you, with universe, with everything. You can feel. If you feel, it's the same expression from the universe. Boom, boom, boom.
If someone asked you what spirituality was, what would you say?
What would inspire you?
Well, what is spirituality? How would you define
It
it?
is. ¿Qué es la espiritualidad? be the example. Exactly what do you want to see outside you? Start with you first and everything. You want in your life, kindness? Be kind first. You want in your life love? Become in love first. It's not just words. It's not just what do you see. It's more about who you are.
Do you think religions mostly help people to do that or mostly interfere?
No, no, because sometimes I'm very respectful. I told you before. Sometimes the religion helps in some ways, but they don't tell you the truth. I know many years ago, like since we get here in this world, when the world was just one, the continent was just one, the religion was just one. After the separation, they get exactly they think they need to do with this. So different needs get the better for them. That happens with the Egyptian culture, for example, Mayas. So, and they show you exactly they need to you can know. So just that for their convenience. So no necessarily you need to be so religious or go to the temple to to feel Lord of the universe or the love on you. So I think you are the religion. It's you.
Do you think that truth and goodness are always together? Or can there be good things that aren't true and true things that aren't good? Are goodness and truth always together, or can they be separate sometimes?
Nothing is separate. For that reason, I told you everything comes to you. Yeah. No. No.
There are moments where it's very strong for us that everything is already perfect, already taken care of, already resolved. But then also we have a life of trying to get better.
Yes.
How do we bring those together? How do we think about it? If everything's perfect, why should I bother to do any spiritual work?
No, we're working. We are perfect who I am, who you are. Okay? The life was making for learn. We here to learn, to get more awareness and to go up in our soul. Spiritual evolution. Because this life is just a moment. Even when look like so long. This is no or real life. So it's perfect who it is even when we have challenges. Because that is the goal, to pass that and get better and get better and get better before we go this earth, before we go or pass away. So when you're talking with people, all people, and you ask them for advice, they told you, you know what? If I know things have resolution or no, what about why? I concern a lot about that. If have resolution, is good. If no have resolution, it's good too. So
It's been about an hour. I've said
okay.
a lot of questions. I wonder what else we should talk about. Do you have a feeling about what we should talk about? Or, is there any way of bringing in advice from other beings or from some other dimension of ourselves to suggest, if we talk for 10 more minutes, what would be the best thing to talk about?
Wow, we're talking about a lot of things. When you can realize that, is very interesting because we connect with everything during this conversation. So nature, lore, entities, life. It's really good. So, but just please start believe more because everyone is light, even when you at the moment can't see that. If you can't see that, just ask for it. We are beautiful. We are amazing. When you see at the night the sky, you are wonder. Your light is the same, the stars. Always remember that. Sometimes I don't have word for that because when you can see more and you can see how beautiful we are, it's emotional for me because sometimes it's like maybe you can feel you know enough to do or see that, and it's not true. Everybody, everyone is enough for everything. It's just an illusion we have. Open hearts, please. Open. Touch your heart all the time. Please feel yourself. When you are alive, everything is possible. Everything. I don't know, Homori, what do you say? We can talk everything about whatever you want, but I know.
Well, that was so lovely. That would be a great place to end. I guess I want to say to people who are listening and watching that sometimes we have a tendency to think that talking like this is silly or old fashioned or something like that, right? Some people have that idea, especially if they haven't personally had these experiences. But I think one of the things you're pointing to is that by thinking in this way, we open up ourselves to certain kinds of experiences and certain kinds of feelings that are really important, really nourishing, and that we're poorer without these feelings that come with these kinds of ideas.
Yes. I think the most important is if you want. I know maybe in your family or around your friends, they don't have this kind of feelings, or they don't show you about it, or they don't teach you about it. But now you have the decision in your hands to do this. So it's your choice.
What's next for you? What do you think your next phase of your mission is?
I would love to continue it, write another book and just keep work with angels, because I know we need this. And also they teach us to be more free. Don't have this kind of, like a big packet and then in our bag. So you can take away that step by step. For me, that is important because I love see happiness around me. I don't know why, or maybe I know why. I love when I can see children happy, people happy, because now they come to realize about the life is more simple sometimes. So a book about the how we need to think and clean our mind, how we can do that, and also working on it. Keep working with Agnes to do this session, healing session to me, yeah, to others to share. Because in my real life, and say real life because we always talking about the difference and work with children's the special needed, so that is part of my life too, and keep working with children too.
Well, thank you for talking with us. I have a very nice feeling in my heart. That's a very happy conversation to have. Thank you, Carolina.
Thank you, Lyman. Thank you for inviting me to be open with me, even when we're still learning. So thank you so much.